We've all been there. It's 3 a.m., the world is silent, but inside your head, there's a hurricane. You're rereading a text from 3 years ago. You're practicing a comeback for an argument that ended in 2022. You're convinced that everyone saw that one awkward moment and they're judging you for it right now. But here is the cold truth. Overthinking isn't problem solving. It's a sophisticated con game played by your own biology. Your brain is a survival machine, not a happiness machine. It doesn't want you to be at peace. It wants you to be hyper-vigilant. Today, we're going to use the strategic philosophy of Machiavelli and the psychological depth of Carl Jung to perform a radical act, cutting the strings. This is your 12-step blueprint to emotional sovereignty. Phase 1. The biology of the ghost. Step 1. Recognize the negativity bias. You have to realize that you are operating on hardware that is 200,000 years old. To our ancestors, social rejection wasn't just embarrassing, it was a death sentence. If the tribe didn't like you, you were cast out to the wolves. That's why your brain treats a seen message or a cold tone with the same physiological alarm as a physical predator. It's not truth, it's an outdated survival script. Call it out for what it is. Step 2. The spotlight effect. You are the main character in your life, but to everyone else, you're mostly background noise. We overestimate how much others notice our flaws by nearly 500%. Most people are so drowning in their own insecurities, their own bills, and their own rumination that they don't have the storage space to hold on to your mistakes. You are a footnote in their story. Let that set you free. Step 3. The mind-reading trap. Overthinking is often just fiction writing. We construct elaborate tragedies based on zero data. You think your boss is planning to fire you because they didn't say hi in the hall. In reality, they might have indigestion or a sick kid at home. When you find yourself mind-reading, stop and ask, what is the actual evidence? If the answer is none, the story is a lie. Before we move into the deeper psychological work, I want to ask you a favor. If you've spent more time in your head today than in the real world, hit that subscribe button. We are building a community of people who are choosing reality over rumination. Don't let your own mind be a place you're afraid to visit alone. Join us. Phase 2. The Machiavellian pivot. Step 4. Release the need for approval. Detachment is the removal of neediness. The second you stop seeking a green light from others, you shift from being a beggar to being a sovereign. Neediness is a scent that others can smell. It gives them leverage over you. Sovereignty is the willingness to be misunderstood or even disliked, rather than betraying your integrity to buy a temporary fake peace. Step 5. Cease over-explaining. Ruminating on how to justify your choices is a weakness disguised as openness. When you defend your boundaries, you give others ammunition to twist your words. If you say no and then give 5 reasons why, you've just given them 5 points to argue with. A sovereign no requires no footnotes. Silence is your most underrated power move. Step 6. The developmental ceiling. This is the hardest one to hear. You're ruminating on why someone won't apologize or why they won't see what they did to you. The truth is, they might not have the psychological capacity to do so. Some people hit an emotional ceiling and choose denial because the alternative, self-accountability, is too terrifying for them to do. You cannot draw water from an empty well. Stop trying to find depth in shallow people. Phase 3. The Jungian descent. Step 7. The mirror of the shadow. Carl Jung famously said that everything that irritates us about others leads to an understanding of ourselves. If you are obsessively ruminating on someone else's arrogance, ask yourself, where am I suppressing my own power? Often we project our shadow, the parts of ourselves we've rejected, onto others. When you own the trait, the obsession vanishes. Step 8. The illusion of transparency.
You feel like your internal chaos is being broadcasted on a giant neon sign. It's not. There is a massive gap between how you feel and how you look. You are much more of a closed book than you realize. Knowing that your internal state is private allows you to sit in a room without feeling like everyone is reading your nervous system. Step 9. Self-judgment versus projection. The harsh criticisms you imagine others are making are usually just your own self-attacks bouncing off the walls. If you're worried people think you're a failure, it's because you were worried you're a failure. Stop fighting the imaginary audience and start talking to the person in the mirror. Phase 4. Reclaiming the throne. Step 10. Refuse the provisional life. Stop waiting for the perfect time to be yourself. Rumination thrives in the provisional life, a state where you stay comfortable or justified to avoid the scary work of being authentic. The past is a graveyard. You can visit, but you can't live there. Focus on the privilege of a lifetime, becoming who you actually are. Step 11. Strategic withholding. In an age of oversharing, mystery is power. Over-availability suffocates respect. By holding back and creating space, you allow others to invest in you. Detachment isn't about being cold, it's about controlling your heart's exposure and not offering your emotional treasures to those who haven't earned the map. Step 12. Sovereignty over compulsion. Most people are marionettes. A thought pops up and they dance. Someone ignores them and they react. True freedom is the power to choose your response. Sit with the discomfort of silence. Sit with the anxiety of being misunderstood. When you can sit with a feeling without being dragged by it, you've cut the strings. You are the architect of your own attention. You can spend it on the ghosts of the past, or you can spend it on the reality of the present. The next time you find yourself spiraling, remember, you are the one holding the pen. You can stop writing the tragedy whenever you want. I want to know, which of these 12 steps felt like it was written specifically for you? Was it the developmental ceiling or the spotlight effect? Drop your answer in the comments. Let's get these insights out of our heads and into the world. If this video gave you even 1 minute of peace, like it and share it with someone who's overthinking right now. I'll see you in the next one.